Blue Origin, the space tourism firm owned by Amazon's Jeff Bezos, has released footage from inside its reusable space capsule, flown successfully for the first time this week. The Crew Capsule 2.0 reached orbit and returned to Earth with a test dummy strapped into it called Mannequin Skywalker, who can be seen taking a dizzying ride into space before returning back to Earth. While the flight itself provided stunning views of the Earth below, the landing is not for the faint-hearted, with the capsule containing the test dummy seen spinning before kicking up a cloud of dust upon impact. Mannequin Skywalker was launched aboard New Shepard, a prototype rocket being developed by Blue Origin, during the test flight on Tuesday. Today, Bezos took to Twitter to share a video that captured every moment of the 11-minute-long flight. Viewers can watch out of the window as the vessel blasts off the launch pad before rapidly ascending, with the ground below quickly giving way to the blue hues of the upper atmosphere. The craft then begins to descend, with mountains and plains below rising into view before the craft makes a firm landing. Bezos has assured future customers that they will have a better experience than Mannequin Skywalker. Writing on Twitter, he said, "Unlike him, you'll be able to get out of your seat during the zero-G part of the flight. And ignore the pinching sound, it's just from one of the experiments on this flight." The capsule's roomy interior includes seats for 6 travelers, who will be treated to views from the largest windows in space when the firm begins commercial flights. Launching from Blue Origin's West Texas launch site, Tuesday's test featured the latest version of the firm's reusable New Shepard rocket, its first flight in 14 months. In October, Bezos said Blue Origin will take tourists into orbit within the next 18 months. The company isn't yet taking reservations or publishing its ticket prices, with would-be riders forced to wait until the firm completes its tests. In a separate video of the launch, the New Shepard rocket is captured firing into orbit, disconnecting from the capsule, and then landing vertically back on the launch pad. Shortly after this, the Crew Capsule 2.0 pod is seen floating back to the ground under 2 enormous parachutes, before landing in the Texas desert at around 1 mile per hour, 1.6 kph, according to Blue Origin. At the end of the video, the firm teased in big letters, "Ready to fly." In addition to the dummy, yesterday's 10-minute test flight carried 12 commercial, research and educational payloads within the Crew Capsule, Blue Origin said. The capsule offers 530 cubic feet, 15 cubic meters, of space, large enough for passengers to float freely and turn weightless somersaults. They include reclining black seats with blue piping and seats emblazoned with the Blue Origin feather logo. Today's flight of New Shepard was a tremendous success, Blue Origin CEO Bob Smith said at the time. It marks the inaugural flight of our next-generation crew capsule as we continue step-by-step progress in our test flight program. On Twitter, Blue Origin founder Jeff Bezos wrote, "Number News Shepard had a successful first flight of Crew Capsule 2.0 today. Complete with windows in our instrumented test dummy. He had a great ride. Blue Origin's suborbital New Shepard launch system consists of a rocket and capsule designed to fly payloads and passengers to about 100 kilometers, 62 miles, above the planet. Test flights with crew members aboard are expected to begin next year. Every seat on the flight will have access to a large window, which the company says is made of multiple layers of fracture-tough materials. The system consists of a pressurized capsule on top of a reusable booster rocket. The two vehicles launch together, accelerating for approximately 2.5 minutes before the engine cuts off. The capsule then separates from the booster to coast quietly into space. After a few minutes of free fall, the booster performs an autonomous rocket-powered vertical landing, while the capsule lands softly under parachutes, both ready to be used again.